Scottie Scheffler's hilarious two-word joke at the Open Championship. You'd never guess that during the intense pressure cooker of golf's final major championship, the world's top-ranked player was cracking jokes like a weekend golfer at a local club. But Scottie Scheffler's unexpected humor during the Open Championship's decisive moments reveals the human side of elite sports. And it's creating quite a buzz. Jordan Spieth, Scheffler's longtime friend and competitor, recently peeled back the curtain on the world number one's personality in a revealing interview. He described Scheffler as exceptionally witty, noting that trash-talking comes as naturally to him as his famously smooth swing. He's got sharp comebacks, Spieth explained. What makes him tough to banter with is how clever he is. His comedic timing is actually impressive. This playful side was on full display during Sunday's critical final round at Royal Portrush, where Scheffler chased his fourth major victory. Contrary to what you might expect during high-stakes competition, TV cameras repeatedly captured Scheffler and his playing partner Haotong Li sharing laughs throughout their tense battle. After their round, Li, a rising star from China, confirmed the light-hearted dynamic, calling Scheffler a lovely guy to play with, and revealing they exchanged friendly jabs. But here's where it gets intriguing. When pressed for specifics, Li shared a particularly telling exchange. He'd asked Scheffler if they could practice together when Li competes on the PGA Tour, to which Scheffler agreed. "Just make sure you reply when I text you," Li quipped. Scheffler's comeback? A deadpan Haotong who? A two-word punchline that had them both chuckling. Meanwhile, Li's own performance deserves major attention. While Scheffler ultimately clinched the championship, Li achieved a remarkable tie for fourth place, his second-best career finish in a major, mirroring his 2017 Open performance. This stellar result punched his ticket to next year's Masters and caused significant movement in global rankings. Currently ranked 111th worldwide, Li is poised for a substantial jump. More crucially, he soared from 8th to 3rd in the DP World Tour's season-long standings, a huge development since the top 10 receive coveted PGA Tour cards. Now, consider this contrasting backdrop. Li's journey includes a startling admission that he briefly quit golf after a 2022 victory. Despite turning pro at 16, winning twice on the DP World Tour, and making the 2019 President's Cup international team, he later confessed to struggling with motivation. This makes his 2025 resurgence deeply compelling, especially his emotional, tearful interview after a recent DP World Tour win where he vowed to celebrate this one nicely. Yet here's what might surprise you. Despite his brilliant Open finish, Li expressed frustration with his driving during Sunday's round, admitting he lost strokes both off the tee and on greens. Still, he departed Northern Ireland buoyantly, not just with tournament honors, but with Scheffler's contact info and that memorable punchline fresh in mind. "Yeah, but just happy to finish like this," Li reflected. So let's get controversial. Does good-natured trash talk belong in professional golf's pressure-filled environment? Some traditionalists argue it undermines the sport's decorum, while others see it as humanizing top athletes. And what about Li's admission of temporarily quitting? Does it make his comeback more inspirational, or highlight concerning pressures in elite golf? Sound off below. Is friendly banter during majors acceptable gamesmanship, or should the gentleman's game draw a firmer line? Your thoughts could spark a fascinating debate. Li Haotong, the Chinese golfer challenging Scottie Scheffler for the Open. Imagine a sport where the competition is so fierce, one underdog's rise to fame could rewrite the history books. That's exactly what's happening at the Open, where Li Haotong, the most handsome man in China, is set to challenge golfing giant Scottie Scheffler. But here's where it gets controversial. The 153rd Open Championships leaderboard reads like a who's who of golfing legends. Names like Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Matthew Fitzpatrick are front and center, each vying for the coveted title. But amidst these giants, an unlikely contender has emerged. Li Haotong from China. Li's journey to this point is nothing short of remarkable. If he were to win, he'd become the first Chinese player to claim a men's major, and only the third from Asia, following in the footsteps of Hideki Matsuyama and Yang Yong-un. It's a feat that would send shockwaves through the golfing world and cement Li's place in history. But how did this most handsome man in China get his nickname? It's a story that started with a bit of humor. Li's club manufacturer jokingly stamped the title on one of his wedges, and the nickname stuck. In fact, Li shared a light-hearted moment about it. texting a picture of his wedge to Phil Mickelson, who responded with a wry comment about China. While Li's looks may have earned him some attention, it's his skills on the course that have truly set him apart. After a promising debut in 2017, where he finished third, Li's career took a tumultuous turn. He struggled with form and injuries, even considering walking away from the sport. But resilience and determination brought him back, and he won the BMW Invitational Open in 2022. Li's performance at the Open has been nothing short of inspiring. Despite his struggles with his swing and the yips over the past 2 years, he's managed to climb the leaderboard with impressive scores. His third-round performance in particular was remarkable, considering he had to limit his practice due to the massive crowds at Royal Portrush. Now, for the first time in his career, Li will be in the final pairing on the closing day of a major championship. The pressure is on, but Li seems unfazed. "I'm actually quite looking forward to it," he said. "I'll just try to play my best out there and hopefully make something happen. It's going to be exciting." As an underdog against the sport's heavy hitters, Li knows he has nothing to lose. But his words reveal a deeper truth. "I think if I play my best, I can compete with anyone." So, do you think Li Haotong can pull off the upset? Is he just a flash in the pan? Or is this the start of a new era in golf? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Scottie Scheffler's historic British Open win. Dominance by the numbers. Scottie Scheffler's performance at the Open Championship wasn't just another win. It was a masterclass in dominance that solidified his place among golf's all-time greats. With a commanding 4-shot victory over Harris English at Royal Portrush, Scheffler added yet another major title to his already impressive resume. At just 29 years old, he now boasts 4 major championships, putting him in the kind of elite company most players can only dream of joining. But here's where it gets interesting. Beyond the trophies and accolades lies a deeper story about how Scheffler is rewriting the history books with every swing. Scheffler isn't just collecting wins. He's doing so in ways that defy convention. Over the past 2 seasons alone, he has amassed an astonishing 11 PGA Tour victories, 3 of which are majors. What truly sets him apart, however, is not merely the quantity of his wins but the manner in which they unfold. Take for instance his recent triumph in Northern Ireland. It wasn't just any victory. It was a jaw-dropping display of precision and control that left even seasoned golf fans marveling. Let's dive into some numbers to better understand why Scheffler's achievements are being described as historic, and what makes this young golfer such a force to be reckoned with. ####3 down, 1 to go. The career Grand Slam quest. Earlier this year, Scheffler claimed the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, adding another prestigious trophy to his collection. Now, after lifting the claret jug at Royal Portrush, he finds himself within striking distance of completing golf's elusive career Grand Slam. Only a select few, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player and Tiger Woods, have achieved this feat before turning 30. And guess what? Scheffler will have his first opportunity next summer when the US Open heads to Shinnecock Hills. Oh, and did we mention? That tournament concludes on June 21st, the very day Scheffler turns 30. Talk about destiny. With those legendary names as benchmarks, the question becomes inevitable. Could Scheffler surpass their records someday? After all, Nicklaus, Player, and Woods combined for 42 major titles between them. If Scheffler continues on his current trajectory, could he reach or even exceed that number? These are questions worth pondering, especially as he steps closer to greatness. #### major domination like never before. When you dig deeper into Scheffler's stats, one thing becomes crystal clear. His ability to dominate under pressure is unparalleled. Entering this week, Scheffler shared rare company with Seve Ballesteros as the only players in the modern era to win each of their first 3 majors by at least 3 strokes. However, after his latest triumph, Scheffler stands alone. He has now won all 4 of his initial majors by margins of 3 shots or more. For context, consider that legends like Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus both had close calls early in their careers. Scheffler, on the other hand, seems to make winning look almost effortless. This level of consistency might lead you to wonder, is Scheffler redefining what it means to excel in major tournaments? His dominance certainly raises eyebrows and invites debate. Do you think anyone else on tour today could match his streak? ###flawless frontrunner mentality. Another remarkable aspect of Scheffler's game is his uncanny knack for closing out victories once he takes the lead. Since the Players' Championship earlier this season, Scheffler has finished no worse than T8 in any event, a streak spanning 11 consecutive starts. More impressively, when holding at least a share of the 54-hole lead, Scheffler converts victories at an extraordinary rate. In fact, he has successfully turned 10 straight outright leads into wins, dating back to the 2023 WM Phoenix Open. Among those victories were 3 majors, including his recent triumph at the Open. While Scheffler's run of converting leads is undeniably impressive, it still falls short of Tiger Woods' record of 36 consecutive conversions during his prime. Still, Scheffler's streak is the longest active one since Woods, further cementing his status as one of the game's premier competitors. So, does this mean Scheffler is destined to follow in Woods' footsteps, or carve out his own path entirely? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. ####calendar Kismet. A timeline worth noting. Comparisons to Tiger Woods often feel premature, if not outright presumptuous. Yet there's one area where Scheffler and Woods align perfectly: timing. Scheffler's victory at Royal Portrush occurred exactly 1,197 days after his breakthrough win at the 2022 Masters. Coincidentally, that's the same span of time, down to the exact day, that separated Woods' first 4 major victories. Both men also earned their 4th major titles at the Open, albeit 25 years apart. While Scheffler may still be far from matching Woods' total of 15 majors, the parallels between their early careers are hard to ignore. Will Scheffler eventually challenge Woods' legacy? Or will he forge something entirely unique? Only time will tell. #### all-time double dip. Joining golf's elite. In addition to his major success, Scheffler's overall body of work places him alongside golf's immortals. Last year, he won 7 times on the PGA Tour. This year, he's already racked up 4 victories, including the Open. That combination puts him in rarefied territory, joining a list of players who achieved double-digit wins across 2 seasons while securing at least 3 majors. Tiger Woods accomplished this feat 5 separate times, while Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer each did it twice. The only other name on the list? Lee Trevino, who pulled off the feat from 1971 to 1972. With Scheffler guaranteed to enter the FedEx Cup playoffs as the number 1 seed, he'll have additional opportunities to pad his stats this year. Even if he doesn't win again in 2025, his accomplishments over the last 2 seasons speak volumes about his talent and tenacity. So what do you think? Is Scottie Scheffler destined to become the face of golf for the next generation? Or do you believe someone else on tour could rise to challenge him? Share your thoughts. We're eager to hear your take.